Okay. Well, this video I've been planning on doing for a long time, but never got the chance of doing it. So now I am going to talk about the Percy Jackson movies. The ones that fucking suck massive dicks. Oh, Percy isn't 12. No. He was 16 the first book. Well, cheese and all that. Like, hey, what does it say in the book? Oh, so they're bullshitting us. Annabeth is a more of a warrior than she was an intellectual. Also, she's a girl boss. Actually, no, she's in Hermione, where she doesn't defeat Medusa instantly. I don't know. I think Grover was the one who actually defeated her. Was Grover a comedian now? I mean, he was funny in the original, but that's mostly because of his innocence and the fact that his comedy was mostly just dissing on Percy's bad plan. That was funny. You know what isn't funny? Grover doing this. Oh, he's doing the Michael Jackson. That's funny because he's black. That's literally the only reason why they made this joke in the first place, because Brandon T. Jackson and Michael Jackson, when he used to be black, are black. Way to go, guys. This movie is so good. Wow. I'll give some positives. The performances are pretty decent. I mean, the script they're given isn't that great, but hey, at least the performances are good. Logan Lerman was actually pretty good in this, and I wish he was asked to do this when he was younger instead of right now in 2010. Yeah, that's the funny thing about this movie. It was made 14 years ago. I say 14 because obviously it was filmed in 2010. Like, seriously, no one can ever tell me that it was not filmed in 2010. Most of the jokes are pop culture references, like the original series, but it wasn't the one that defined it. The comedy of the Percy Jackson series was more laid back and more sarcasm and, I don't know, good timing. Some of the jokes in this movie just do not hit the same. Probably because they have to deal with characters they don't know how to write, and they didn't ask Woodward at all anything, and he didn't contribute anything at all. So not only did they diss the person who made it, but they got someone who infamously worked with J.K. Rowling. You know, the person who put their hands on everything. You know, it's kind of funny. I find this really funny, but like, Robin Williams worked with Chris Columbus on 2 films. Not up to this point. Like, he only worked on 1 film to this point. That being Mrs. Doubtfire. And J.K. Rowling's like, no, I want a British person. So they got Robbie Countryman. I don't hate the actor who played Hagrid, but like, imagine Robin Williams playing this character. That's the funny thing, though. If Robin Williams was in the Percy Jackson movies, it would have at least been funny because Robin Williams could have found something funny in this movie. I don't find anything funny about this movie at all. Okay, let's talk about the action scenes. They're kind of on the same par as the Harry Potter movies, and that is not a good thing. The Harry Potter movies action was pretty stagnant in the first 2 movies. The third movie kind of picked it up a little bit, and the 4th movie kind of looks better than how it should be from what year it was released. But this is the same year Logan Lerman played an iconic character from the 3 Musketeers, and that movie was released a year before and somehow looks even better than this movie does. I will give some credit that Steve Coogan was in it and he was pretty okay, I guess. I don't know. But like, the fucking underworld scenes look weird. They look like something from a D-tier Marvel movie. Why are the visuals just so fucking generic? Why can't I tell like some of the scenes are CGI? What is up with the Poseidon ass fucking disappearing behind the bus? You know that kind of stereotype where they have the mysterious guy and then the bus appears and they disappear for some reason? It was ridiculous in Spider-Man 3, so it is no more than embarrassing in Percy Jackson Movie 1. Really, Chris Columbus? You directed Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire. and made other works, I'm sure. Wait, what else has he made? Let me just go check real quick. He directed Pickles? Pixels? He directed the Christmas Chronicles too. There was the first one. Damn, his career really tanked after the Percy Jackson movie one. I mean, Christmas, he directed Rent, the musical, and I Love You, Beth Cooper. I don't know those movies. His directing sound does not translate well with action. It more fits for family melodrama, basically. Like in Home Alone and Home Alone 2, the good Home Alone movies, not the shitty ones like this one. But I will not understand why he chose to direct Percy Jackson. And to a certain extent, I don't know why he directed the first two Harry Potter movies. It's not like they gave life to the books. In fact, I think that's the one thing I don't like about it. It's the way its visuals are. I do like the darker tone though, in the third book onwards. Another thing I don't, aside from Percy Jackson and obviously being aged up and the characters just not being the same, is Percy himself. I love Percy Jackson in the original book. He was funny, he was sarcastic, and he was, I don't know, likable. Aside from played by Logan Lerman and having good chemistry with Alexandra Daddario, which I am honestly really surprised they got, he's kind of a jerk in this. He's more so an idiotic imbecile in this one. He's sarcastic, sure, but not in a likable tone. In the books, you can understand why he's so fucking annoyed by the world, because he's always blamed by everything. No one believes him. Zeus literally thinks that Percy stole it just because Percy is the son of Poseidon. That's it. But in this, you start to wonder, maybe he could have done it. And it doesn't help that Logan Lerman's writing in this is absolutely horrendous. I mean, he's not a bad performer. Once again, the person being a wallflower, he was in. 310 to Yama, he was in. The number 23, that movie wasn't great, but he was in that and he acted pretty good. What else did he act in? Oh, Hoots. Oh, maybe I should make a video about that movie. But at the same time, it's obvious that he was miscast at this point of his career. I feel bad for him. He was cast in 2009 and had to be in British Columbia. Oh yeah, it was released 14 years ago. Fucking hell. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that this movie is as bad as it is. Because, it had a good director. It had brilliant actors in it. But who wrote this movie? Who the fuck wrote this garbage-ass piece of product placement? Oh, Craig Tatley. You see, Craig Tatley is infamous for writing on some of the weirdest movies, like Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2, the Scooby-Doo movie, but she didn't really write them. She wrote the story for them. She didn't write Cheaper by the Dozen 2. It was based upon characters that she created. The only thing she wrote for were Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which came afterwards, and The Cape, which also came afterwards. But she didn't write most of them. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I haven't heard a lot from this guy's work. Except for Percy Jackson and Lesbians. This story is so fucking boring. It's just a fetch quest where they travel the world. Damn, this was not great. Apparently, they made a Nintendo DDS of this fucking ass movie. Why would you choose this and not the original source material? I mean, Canada saw it first, so they probably knew it was bad. 20th Century Fox, that's why you fucking bankrupt, because you made the Percy Jackson movie. I mean, is there anything other than quality? Well, there's some things I do enjoy, like the Lotus scene, even though it makes no sense why this pop song is made. I mean, I don't fucking know. I don't want to call it a Harry Potter knockoff because that would be offensive to Percy Jackson as a character. Percy Jackson was a lot more likable and funnier than Harry and grew more as a character, whereas Harry didn't really grow at all. I don't hate Harry Potter. In fact, I hate Ron Weasley a lot more. But I wouldn't really call it a fucking Harry Potter knockoff because Harry Potter didn't have a random fetch quest in the first 6 movies. 7 and 8 are basically just fetch quests. But at least the fetch quests of the first part felt plausible because there is some kind of stakes to it. In this, the only stake is, oh, we're going to war! And that's it. Nothing else. And it doesn't feel tension. I don't feel any tension in this garbage-ass movie. The pacing is so atrocious that I legitimately felt like the first hour was when Percy literally went to fucking California. I am not joking, but it turns out it takes fucking 45 minutes from the first scene for them to actually drive to Camp Half-Blood. Yes, 45 minutes of this movie is taking place in the goddamn high school. Fucking hell! Oh my god, we don't need any more high school bullshit. The one thing I liked about the original Percy Jackson was that it was over and done. There's a joke where there's just High School Musical without the musical, so normal as high school. Can I kill myself now? Oh my fucking god. It's kind of funny that the third movie of the high school movies was better than this. Hell, you want to know something? Even though this movie is shit, I'd rather watch it than most of the fucking Disney Channel original movies. This one feels like it's made by the same people who made that fucking ass, Upside Down Magic. Which really brings me to my next video potential. I don't know, this movie is just shit, but at least I will give it this. At least the performances from Brandon T. Jackson and Logan Lerman were pretty good. Jacob Bell was okay, Sean Bean was okay as Zeus. Everyone else was actually pretty good. Except for Rosario Dawson. I didn't like her performance as Persephone. I don't know why that they had to make her love Grover. That never happened in the books. Kill me now. Ultimately, though, the one thing I really wanted to see was Ares versus Percy, and it doesn't happen in the movie. Spoilers alert for a movie that came out 14 years ago. Oh my fucking god. This movie, apparently, guess what? Okay. It had a budget of $95. Okay? Alright, now I want you guys to know something about movies. $95 million is a lot of money. In order for a movie to actually be successful, it needs to, be 2.5 more than the budget made in order for it to actually be a profit. In order for the budget to actually come back, it had to receive, okay, I'm going to tell you the number, $237,500,000. This movie only made back $226.4 million. It was almost a box failure, but it wasn't because it did better in Canada than anywhere else. Ultimately, though, this movie did not deserve to have a sequel. They were planning on doing this since 2007. How do you acquire a film right in 2004 when the book was released in 2005? Whatever, I don't give a shit anymore. At least the soundtrack was okay, I guess. I don't know. The editing was okay. I don't know. It should have been more paced better. This movie's awful. Don't watch it. 3 out of 10. I guess.